Hello everyone and welcome back to another Tuesday. So for the last couple weeks I've been recording in this very odd room, and with the lack of decorations and stuff in it, it's been pretty lonely making these videos. I need my room back. As Mario mentioned on Thursday, today is officially the International Read a Comic Book in Public Day, and if you haven't done that yet, do it now. Pause the video and go do that. Actually, no, rephrase that. Finish watching the video, then go do that, and then come back and watch the video again. Mario also asked a question last week, and this video is mainly gonna cover that, I guess. And the question was, will comic books ever be considered a respected art form? It should be a respected art form if it's not already. And at least Western-wise, I always thought that it was a respected art form, just with the style of how it is. I've never really heard about it for Western comics. I always heard it. I remember back in junior high when a lot of people really didn't know that much about manga. They always thought that it was so interesting and cool and just like this amazing and intriguing art form. And then the moment it started getting popular, everybody just kind of threw it and basically just kind of said that it's not original. Crazy, right? And since my art was very influenced by that at the time, this kind of offended me. Art has changed so much, and nowadays it's very hard to say what exactly is art. Even things that don't have to deal with drawing or painting or sculpting, things like music and things like fashion, that stuff is considered art too. And a lot of the time the lines can be very blurred depending on who it is. Even Photoshop for manipulating photos and images is considered an art. I think the reason why people don't necessarily respect these art forms, and at least manga-wise, and you could probably apply it to Western comics as well, is just a big mixture of different things, from the looking at it from a commercial perspective of just trying to sell a product and actually trying to tell a story, be creative, focus on that, and then they kind of take away from the actual art itself. They focus on the negatives than they do on the positives. And then people start making the arguments of it is nothing compared to Van Gogh, or it's nothing compared to Michelangelo. It's not art. It's like when people compare techno and hip-hop to classical music. Art is something that just brings out an emotion, whether it is through a story or it's through a phrase, whether it is through music. It brings out an emotion and it inspires people. So whether it's Beethoven or it's Hans Zimmer or it's Skrillex, it will inspire people, and it just depends on who it is. Whether or not you feel that respected art is in the form of a beautiful painting or it comes in the form of graffiti, I know that's definitely not considered a respected art form, and it should be. But whether it's music, comics, or graffiti, whether or not you feel it's an art form, you should at the very least respect those who feel that it is. No one ever wants to be torn down for something that they love. From personal experience, I know what it feels like to put your heart and soul and tears into the stuff that you create, and for somebody to just tear it down and make it seem like it's nothing, it's not a nice feeling, I'll tell you that much. And speaking of things that is art related, I actually have wanted to talk about this girl for a while. You guys will probably already know who it is, but this is what it is. She's very talented, and if there's ever anybody who wants to go and say that comics and things like anime is not an art, definitely show her artwork. She goes by Yuumei. I don't know her personally, but just hearing her story and just all the stuff that she comes out with her webcomic, it's such an inspiration. You tell she is just inspired every day, and it is a big inspiration for someone wanting to become a better artist. So definitely check her out. I'll put a link to her DA page. I was on Crunchyroll again, and apparently they turned the Spanish painting disaster into a meme. Some of the pictures are actually pretty funny, but as funny as they are, I just don't know. It's like, it's so sad. I feel so bad for the woman who worked on this, because I don't understand like how she messed this painting up. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'll put a link in the description on the article of what I'm talking about under the meme thing, which is still pretty funny, but also very sad because she destroyed Jesus Christ. But I found out this morning that over the weekend, the director for Yu-Gi-Oh! Got arrested for death threats. I'll put a link in the description for that. It was pretty weird when I checked my email, so I'll put a link for that. And on that weird note, I am going to leave you with one of my lame questions. My question is, have you ever had something exceed your initial expectations? Something that initially going into it you thought it was going to be awful, and then after you see it you're just like mind blown about it. It can be a comic, video game, whatever it is, you get the gist. Leave a comment and I'll give you my answer next week, which will have something to do with what I'll be talking about next week, I think. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for the rest of the geeks this week. This has been Pyro, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday.